Hey guys, Dan the Man here, and today I'm going to show you how you can actually basically clone your current Windows drive to an external SSD without losing a single thing. So I've done this process actually already. You can go to this website. I'll put the link in the description box. You can just come and download it. Macrium Reflex 7, this software. Download 30 days trial. That's more than enough. You don't need to put your email address in there because it's not really necessary. You can just press continue and it will automatically start your download. When it starts your download, you just click on it and it will take you through the installation process. You press run, and in here, yeah, you just press download, run after downloading it. It's just basically just a download manager agent kind of thing. So it's not going to be downloading any of those dodgy applications in your PC. Let's just be patient for a while until my slow internet connection is actually downloading this thing from their server. Actually, my internet is quite a lot faster than this, but I think their servers are not as fast. So this application is actually very good. This software, I mean, you can basically copy everything, even your factory reset setting, BIOS, all those drives, and clone everything in your current drive into your SSD drive. And then you can replace your SSD drive with your actual hard drive or SSD drive that you have in your computer right now, including the Windows licenses and everything that you have actually. Not a single thing would be basically deleted or moved. So, let's start installing it. We are installing it together. Just be patient with me, guys. If you want, you can skip it a little bit here and there. Next, yes, I accept the terms and agreement and stuff. And yes, 30 days trial. I don't have a key. And yes, that'll be fine. And what the heck? No registration, and next install whatever blah 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 and the rest of it, and press install. So the installation is a little bit tricky. They want to get your information and stuff, but we don't need to do that. You can just skip it and not give them a thing. So let's just wait for this to finish. Once it's done, it's actually gonna just take a minute for me to explain it to you. You can basically clone all your drives. I've done this already, and everything that I currently have is on my SSD drive. And I've actually formatted my HHD drive, and I put it in a caddy as an external drive that I can install games on it. And I'm using my SSD drive as my main drive. I can even do factory reset settings. I can do whatever I want on that HHD, on that SSD drive that I've cloned from the HHD. Too much of SSD and HHD, but anyways, good. Launch now. No, I plan to restart later, but you guys need to restart it after actually installing it in here. I just want to show you the program so it's not actually necessary for me to restart. So let's wait for this thing to come up. Okay, as you can see here, I have two drives. This is my current drive, which is the SSD drive that I have the Windows files on, the system disk, and factory reset, and all those things, the recovery drive, and the Windows drive, and everything. This is a 250 gig SSD right here, the current drive that I have. For you, it should be the other way around. And this was my 1 terabyte HHD drive. So, if you really wanted to clone it, imagine this is your HHD drive, and this would be your SSD drive the other way around, because I've done this already. You can just click on clone disk, and select this to clone to. You select the SSD that you want to clone it to, but in this case, is my HHD. As I said before, I've done this before, so I'm just showing it to you. So here for you should be the SSD that you're gonna be cloning it to. And then you can just drop, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop all these drives that you have there. So drag and drop everything if you want it to just function just like your actual drive, because you're cloning everything in here. The BIOS, the Windows recovery things, or and all the tools that you would need to format or do whatever you want to do in your Windows. So just do all those things and press next and next. If you have more files, it would take a longer time. But just before you actually clone the actual drive, make sure that you have enough space on your SSD drive. So let's say if you have a terabyte hard drive here, for example, in this area, and here you got a 256 gig SSD drive in here, just make sure that at least 200 gigs of it is full so you can actually have enough space here to copy it all in here. And then press next, and it would take, let's say, depending on how fast your PC is and how slow the HHD that you're copying and cloning from is, would take maybe probably, if you have like about 200 250 gigs of files in there, you just gotta let your computer be by itself for an hour or two, and then you'll be good to go. And then you can take out your actual HHD and then put the SSD back in its place just to make sure that you're booting from the actual SSD, and everything's gonna be fine. Trust me, it's just gonna go smooth and fine. Give it time. If your SSD is bigger and your files are bigger on your HHD that you're cloning from, the HHD that you're cloning from, so it's actually gonna take a longer time. Just be patient, let it get done. Sometimes it might be a little bit slow. Just give it a couple of um, maybe minutes or hours, depending on how big your files are, and you'll be just fine. But just like me, I actually had about 150 gigs of files before I would actually move them to my SSD. So it took me about 30 minutes to be exact to copy 150 gigs, 120 gigs actually to be exact. To for it to copy it from the hard drive to the SSD, the solid state drive. So be patient. It's gonna just go fine. Once you press next, it's gonna like ask you if you wanna set a schedule or anything. No, you don't wanna do those things. Then you can press next, and then you can press finish, and it will continue doing it. But I'm gonna cancel it now because I've done this before, so it's very, very easy. If it was helpful, don't forget to subscribe. But this thing's actually a very useful program. You don't need to buy it, but if you want to buy it, you can buy it. Why not? You can support the developers and all those guys that put their effort to make such programs. But you don't need to do it when you're doing it. When you're cloning your drive, you can just use the trial version. That's good enough. And I'm sure they would be happy hearing that you'll be using their program. Anyways, that's all. Subscribe if it was helpful, and cheers. If you still have any questions, just comment.